वेलकम स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल एजुकेशनल टिप्स। कैसे हैं आप सब? उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब बच्चे बिल्कुल ठीक होंगे। तो बच्चों, आज मैं आपके साथ शेयर करने जा रही हूँ यूनिट नंबर 2 का लेसन 2.4, दैट इज केमिकल रिएक्शंस। सो बेसिकली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट केमिकल रिएक्शन, हाउ सम एलिमेंट्स रिएक्ट विद ईच अदर एंड हाउ अ न्यू प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म. So comes towards from question number 1. Question number 1 is the drawing show what happens when we mix iron and sulfur. It means that this diagram shows when iron reacts with sulfur, it gives sulfur iron sulfate. Iron sulfate. It means that iron and sulfur are the reactant and iron sulfate are the product. ठीक है. उसके बाद we comes towards part number A. Say why this is a chemical reaction. Why iron and sulfur when gives iron sulfate, this is called chemical reaction. They are asking this. So the answer is a new substance or product is formed. This is a chemical reaction because basically when iron and sulfur react together, they give a new product, that is iron sulfate. That is why this is a chemical reaction. Now comes towards part number B. Name the reactant of the reaction. Name the reactant that is basically what are the reactant are that they react basically. These elements, the reactant are those elements that basically react to give a new product, to give a new thing. Okay? So here iron and sulfur react, so they are the reactant. Now name the product that form. What is the when the iron and sulfur react, what they give? They give iron sulfate, that is a product. Question number 2. Describe 3 ways in which we can tell if a chemical reaction has taken place. How we prove that this is a chemical reaction. How we prove that a gas is produced, there is a change of color, there is a change in temperature. So these are the 3 things that must happen if this is a chemical reaction. Now comes to our question number 3. Circle the letter of the correct answer to each of the question. Part number A. When cooking gas burns in oxygen, carbon dioxide and water are formed. What is the reactant? Oxygen. Cooking gas burns with oxygen. Now when it burns, what it gives? It gives us carbon dioxide and water. That's why the 2 reactions that react together is gas and oxygen. So oxygen. When we mix magnesium metal with oxygen, we see a bright white flame and a white powder. What is the product? The powder. A white powder. We get a white powder. When we mix vinegar and baking soda, carbon dioxide gas and water are formed. What evidence do we have that the chemical reaction has taken place? We see a gas bubble form. Eggs rotting is an example of a chemical reaction because a gas that smells bad is formed. What is which of the following is not the evidence that a chemical reaction has occurred? Formation of liquid droplet above the solution. That's the answer. Now comes towards question number 4, that is part of challenge. When plant make food, they use carbon dioxide gas and water to form oxygen and a gas called glucose. They are basically explaining the process of photosynthesis, that plants make their own food, and they make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. In the process of photosynthesis, they take in carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen and make glucose. Okay. Now this picture show a plant called pond wheat. This is the picture of a plant that whose name is pond wheat. Now identify the reactant in the reaction. Describe carbon dioxide and water. Basically, carbon dioxide and water react to give us glucose and oxygen. So the reactant is carbon dioxide and water, and the product we get is glucose, sugar and oxygen. So just a way that we can obtain evidence that a chemical reaction has taken place. Observe bubble of gas formation. Okay, now comes towards part number 2. How could we use this evidence to determine the rate of a reaction? Count the number of bubbles formed over a period of time. Part number C. Where do plants living on land get these reactants from? It means they are saying that where does this reactant in plant comes from? Carbon dioxide comes from the air and water from the soil, because plants have a deep roots that absorb water from the soil. Why is the chemical reaction described important for living thing? Living things need oxygen gas to stay alive for respiration. Animals can't make their own food, so they have to eat other plants and animals in order to get energy. Find out the name of the process by which plant make food I already told you that is the process named as photosynthesis. Any other factor that plant need for this process, the other factors that include are sunlight, because they absorb sunlight too to carry the process of photosynthesis, and they also need chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is basically the green part of a plant. The green texture that is present in the plant is basically because there is a chlorophyll present in the plant. Okay, so this is the lecture. I hope so आपको पसंद आया होगा. अगर आज का लेक्चर आप सबको समझ आ गया है तो मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिएगा, वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिएगा, और जाते जाते चैनल को मत सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिएगा. कमेंट बॉक्स में बताना मत भूलिएगा कि आज का लेक्चर आप सबको कैसा लगा. तो मिलती हूँ किसी वीडियो में. दुआ में याद रखिएगा. अल्लाह हाफिज़.